Hello, my name is Jared Barker, and today I would like to discuss the social issues around minimum wage disparity with all of you. But first, I want to make sure we all know what the minimum wage really means. Minimum wage is the lowest dollar amount any business is allowed to offer a worker in exchange for 1 hour of labor or service. The dollar amount is set by the federal government. Of course, with every rule, there are expectations. Some industries have the luxury to pay lower wage where tips can be calculated as a portion of the hourly wage an employee earns. An example would be a waiter at a restaurant. The federal minimum wage in the United States has been $7.25 since July 2009, the last time Congress raised it. It is crucial to advocate for fair, equitable wages across all industries to protect American citizens from falling into impoverished living conditions and unhealthy lifestyles. The primary issue for minimum wage disparity is that the federal government does not adjust the figure nationally to reflect across all living. The cost of living is not federally mandated figure. Instead, it is calculated that refers to the amount of money or income that an average person needs to have reasonably standard of living according to an article published Indeed in 2021. The current minimum wage is below the 2013 poverty wage level of $8.11 for a full-time single parent of one child. In 2016, the National Low Income Housing Condition published a map illustrating the number of hours a minimum wage employee must work in each state to afford rent for a one-bedroom apartment. A minimum wage worker cannot afford to live in any of the states working just a 40-hour week. On average, across the United States, a minimum wage worker must work between 61 and 78 hours a week to afford a one-bedroom apartment. Based on the data, one must know that the current minimum wage is not contributing to a very unhealthy work-life balance for low-income workers, but it is to create a cycle of poverty for an entire generation to come. Now, there are some states that have mandated a minimum wage much higher than the federal standard to combat the disparity in poverty between low and high wage earnings. The state of New York, for example, has instilled and required minimum wage for $15 per hour across all industries. Of course, this only happened because New York workers literally walked out on their jobs to protest for the poverty level wages. Even at $15 per hour, one would still need to work a minimum of 101 hours a week to afford a one-bedroom apartment in the state of New York. That means most minimum wage earnings in New York need to have more than one minimum wage paying job to pay their rent. Of course, now we all want to help, right? We are college students barely getting by. What does the future look like for us if we do not support the social issues now? One way we can all join in the fight and raise awareness and combat the current minimum wage standard is through political actions. In 2017, a bill was introduced called Raise the Wage Act. One enacted this bill who had raised the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour by 2024. In fact, the bill stated raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour would help lift minimum wage workers out of poverty and address the needs of the 19 million children of our low-wage workers. This is currently not passed and has several revisions since it was introduced in 2017. Currently, the bill is known as H.R. 603, Raise the Wage Act of 2021. Communicating through political actions such as letters, social media campaigns, or phone calls to your local senator and representatives to let them know you want to support this action and create public and social awareness. There are groups such as National Employment Law Project that have resources to assist with employees who believe they can make a difference in raising the wage floor. Members of the project call members of Congress to increase the federal minimum wage to $15 by 2024 and to gradually eliminate the sub-minimum wage for tipped workers and disabled workers according to their social media platforms. They also have community action and group projects with rallies and events, and this has drawn an abundance of media attention, social media attention. The media coverage creates a national chain of communication around the social issue. Overall, when we discuss the minimum wage disparity, it is important to understand that we advocate for raising the wage floor to at least $15 per hour. It is extremely important. However, we must begin to consider the cost of living, all states and communities clearly, what it really means to have fair wage to meet the standard cost of living. For example, the cost of living index for the state of Hawaii is 192.9. This means it is 92.9% more expensive to live in Hawaii than other states, according to the World Population Review published in 2021. So it is fair to assume that we should be fighting and communicating these needs for American citizens relative to the location rather than one-size-fits-all solution for $15 per hour nationally. In addition to location, we should also be reviewing the facts and to fall in the low wage category as they share low wage workforce has increased even as the U.S. economy enjoys its longest expansion in history. We can all advocate through our actions and let the realtors where we do business understand that we appreciate the people who work in our low wage paying jobs. It takes everyone to make the country run, and we should not be allowing those less educated or different races live in poverty. In conclusion, communication plays a crucial role in combating the national crisis with minimum wage disparity. Many groups have created platforms to allow community action through donations, and we as citizens can always play a huge role by taking politics actions and communicating with those representing us as citizens. Finally, communicating with business where we shop by either vocal expression or physical acts, we can make a difference in the lives of so many hardworking people in this country. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope I was able to communicate the needs of the wage workers and how you can support the minimum wage fight.